Hi, this is Dr. Cooper, and welcome to the third video of the orientation. This video is on WordPress, or our course network is what we call it. And basically the course network is our course site for English 102 this semester. We will be using this instead of Blackboard. Now I know that you all noticed that we do have a Blackboard site, but if you are familiar with Blackboard at all, you know that it can't be trusted. So this is our backup. So this will not be used, and this is where you will come to get all of your information and work done in this class. So this video will give you a quick tour of the course network. Alright, so the first thing that you'll see is that when you arrive, you'll see some text. These are the announcements. Here you can see announcements. And each week I will post an announcement. Sometimes 2 or 3 times during a week I will post. So you need to get into the habit of reading the announcements. So this first announcement here I've posted welcoming you all to the course, and it basically gives you a list of things to do to get started. But as you scroll down, you will also notice that there were some other announcements that I posted that you may not be aware of. So you'll want to go in and read those announcements as well, because they are important as well. So the announcements are important for you to read. Now the announcements are organized over here on the right side. So you can click on the announcement folder to bring up all of the announcements. Or if you want only the announcements that have discussions in them, you can click here. If you want only the announcements for Module 1, and as we continue in the course, there will be more options here, Module 2, Module 3, etc. Now, one way that you can get away with not having to visit every day to see if I've posted anything new is you can subscribe using the email subscription. Just type in your email address here and hit the subscribe button. What will happen is you will get an email from FeedBurner, and you might want to check your spam filter just to make sure it didn't go into the spam box, the trash. And then you have to click a link in that email that says, yes, I did subscribe to this website. Okay, now once you do that, every time I post something to this site, you will get an email with that information in it. Then you will know that it's time for you to come down and check at the site. As I scroll down, you can also see that I use Twitter in the class. The Twitter for this class is ENG102. So if you follow Twitter, you will see every time that I post, you will get a link that the announcement is available. And then a lot of times I post just, tips. Sometimes I give quiz questions just to give you a heads up if anyone's paying attention, etc. So that's what Twitter is. You do not have to participate in that. Under here, whenever anyone participates in a discussion, you will see it pop up, so you know that people are participating by looking in the discussions area, and you can say, oh, I need to go participate in that discussion. So you click over, and then you can see the discussion that's going on. Okay? So going back, also at the bottom of this, you will see tags. Tags are the way that I label the things that I am announcing or talking about. So for instance, when I wrote a text about a welcome message or about email, I clicked I can click email, and anything that was tagged email will pop up. So here's some very important information about forwarding your college email, because it is required for you to use your college email. You can also use search. So let's say you want to see if there was anything written about the textbook, because maybe you're curious about the textbook. So if I click textbook, it'll bring up any post that has the word textbook in it. So here's the welcome message, and as you can see, it's highlighted. I talked about the textbook twice. And then the second message was a post that I wrote just about the textbook, and you can see that I mentioned the word textbook 5 times. So once again, some more valuable information about buying your textbook and where to buy it and how you should buy it. Okay, so you can do search, or you can also just click on tags. So that's what the front page will look like when you arrive. You can see up here that there are other tabs, and as you scroll across, you can see that some have drop-down menus. Well, our modules are how we take this class, and we have 5 modules, and each module is broken up into 3 to 4 weeks. So as you can see here, this will help organize what we do on a weekly basis. So when you're in module 2 and you know that we are in week 6, you can always go over to week 6, and then everything that is listed here in week 6 is what you are responsible for doing during that week. Okay, so it's very easy for you to keep track of where we are and what needs to be done. Okay, Same thing with assignments. It's easier to follow the assignments by going through the modules and through the week because there are links to the assignments during the week that the assignment is due. If you just go up here and look at the assignments, it's not as easy to see when an assignment is due unless you just click on the overall tab, and this will be updated to have our current dates, but it will tell you when the dates are and what day these assignments are due. All of our assignments are due on Sundays. This was the summer class. Okay, same thing with the papers, and then links to go out to take your quizzes and to other areas that we will be using on the web. There's also a calendar here that will help you stay organized, and you can subscribe to this calendar by clicking this link here, and then it will add all of the entries onto your calendar. So you can set up reminders, or you can always just click the tab and look at the calendar to see when something is done. So here you can see assignments 1 and 2 are due. It tells you what the assignment is, how many points are possible, and of course, the due date. Okay, so you can copy it to your calendar. This is individually. If you want to copy the whole calendar, do it down here. Okay, we also have a link to the syllabus, which you are required to read. So read the syllabus. It gives you information about your instructor and how to contact her, and lots of different ways to contact the instructor, the course materials required, any course technology that you will need to learn. This Skills Needed for Online Learning is a very important website that you should check out. It will tell you what you should have in terms of skills to be able to be successful in an online course. So here you can see that it gives you a list. So go through that list and say, yes, yes, yes. If you find out that half of this is a no for you, you're probably not in the right class. Okay, so make sure that you read the syllabus because it talks clearly about what the responsibilities are for you in this class. So to get started in the class, you click on the Start Here folder, and this page will tell you the list of things to get started again, but then it has the course orientation, which are the 3 videos that you are watching now. This is the 3rd video right here that you are watching. So once you have finished doing all of the things on the list and the videos in the orientation, one of your last steps is to send me an email. It's very important that you follow the directions and you spell orientation and the word completed correctly, and you make that the subject header of your email, and then you make sure that you use the correct email address, which is dr.coop@freshmancomp.com. Once you receive that, you will get a response back from me, and then you will later get a link to the orientation quiz that you need to take to be ready to finish the course. Whenever there are areas that I think you might have trouble, I create videos for you to watch. So you'll see those links. Here's one here that's a video telling you how to get registered. And then sometimes if you don't want to watch a video, I will have handouts. So make sure that you click on all of the links to get the materials that are available to help you. And then of course, after you've listened and read all of the handouts and videos, if you still have questions, then you can email me. But if you just email me first with a question, I will always ask if you watched a certain video or if you've read a certain handout. So make sure you do that first. Okay, so let's go back to the home. How do we get into this site? Because it's open now, but once we get started, it will be locked down. So you will need to log in. So here, I'm going to use my MEID. So all of you will be using your MEIDs and the password that you set up, and you can log in. You will receive an email that will give you that login information. So now that I'm logged in as a student, you can see logged in as, and it shows my MEID. Well, that's not very personal. So what everyone needs to do is fill out their profile. To do that, we're going to click on Dashboard. And in the dashboard area, you can see lots of different stuff. Just some information. It just tells you how many posts were made, how many pages. None of this is important to you. Okay, but what you need to do is to click over here and click on Profile. Oh, okay, so I'm going to click on Profile. And once you get into the profile, this is where you get to add in your real name. Okay, so you do not have to use your last name. You can just use your middle or your last initial. And that's good if you know that there are more than one of the same, like if you're Brittany, I had 4 Brittany's last semester, you might want to use your last initial because I need to be able to tell you apart to give you credit for the work that you do. Your nickname is required. It's your MEID. You can't change that. And then down here is where you decide what gets displayed publicly. So if I click here that I want to show my full name, that's what will show up when people see me on this site. Remember, this is all open just to the class, not the whole world will be able to see this. Okay, so my email address is there. If I am involved in any of the chat protocols, I can type in my IDs there. I can type in some information about myself. But online, we feel like we're in here all by ourselves. So this is just a quick way of introducing yourself so that when you do start communicating with each other, which is required in the discussions, that people can look and see who are you. Okay, and that helps also by adding a picture. So let's go ahead and click the browse button. Let's add a picture. And let's see, Alex. Let's make Alex a very interesting guy. Let's see, here's a nice picture of Alex. We're going to open that up. Okay, so I have a picture there. If you need to change your password, which I believe you do, go ahead and type in the password that you want here. Now what I would do is use my MEID password, so it's the same thing, because your MEID is what you're going to use to log in, just like you would to Blackboard or SIS. If you keep it all the same, it makes it easier for you to remember how to get in. You can change your password there, and then after you typed in your profile information and changed your display name to a real name, click Update. And then if the picture, oh, there, ooh, nice handsome picture. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to ENG102 online, and now you can see that I have an old picture, but it's changed to display my real name. Let's see if I can refresh this and get the other picture. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now I have my picture and I have my display name. So now when I go into the discussion and to participate in one of the discussions, so this is the orientation discussion that everyone will participate in, you can see that I've posted. My line will be green, so it'll be easy for you to spot when I come in and say something. Okay, so I've posted an introduction, which is an Animoto video, and then Alex came in and he commented. Now, how did he comment? You just hover over the bar and click reply, and then the box pops up, and then you can reply to that person. So you are replying to the person whose line you are on. So here I am. Now if I just want to reply in general, I just come down to the very bottom of the page. So when there are a lot of people that are posting, sometimes you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to be able to participate. Or you can always just reply to people. So make sure that you read the requirements for your discussion. You will see them in the very first discussion that is worth points. You'll see that there is a discussion rubric, and the rubric will tell you what the expectations are and how you are going to be awarded points. So discussions are worth 20 points. You only have 5 of them total in the whole course. You want to make sure that you participate in them. Okay, so you will find all of the discussions, like I said, on the discussion tab. So when you click that, you will then see a list of all the discussions. They're only available for 2 weeks. So for this one, it's available weeks 1 and 2. If you don't participate during those 2 weeks, you lost out. So you lose your 20 points. Okay, so make sure that you participate in a timely manner. And then, of course, when you go to the home page and you see my announcements, if there's something on the announcement that is not clear to you and you want to make a comment on that, a lot of times comments are open. So there aren't any comments available for this announcement, but on some of the other ones, let's say text buying, buying the correct textbook and you have a question. If you go ahead and click on that link, it'll take you to the page, and then at the very bottom of the page you will see that there is a box and you can ask a question about that particular announcement. Okay, that's one way of asking a question instead of having to go log into email to ask me a question. So if you read something and it's not clear to you, you can always come down and ask the question here. Now if you come across the question that you think you can answer, feel free to answer the question just by replying to that person. You might see the question before I do, and that will definitely help the person out. Okay, so that is the course network. Once again, this is what we will be using instead of the old Blackboard. Blackboard is going to be our backup. So as you can see, I have some hidden folders here with all of the course content in it. I don't like the way it works, but if something happens to our site, then we have it as a backup. So just like anything, when you first do something, it's always going to be a little bit challenging, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy. Okay, so if you have questions, let me know, and good luck this semester.